Hello, my name is Patrick Lloyd, and I am the instructor for your general chemistry course this summer, Chemistry 1100. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over the syllabus for the lecture component of the course. We'll deal with the laboratories separately. Um, some of you are going to be doing the laboratories on campus. Some of you will be doing the laboratories remotely. So we'll cover that separately. So this is about the lecture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the syllabus here. There we go. And hopefully you can see this here. Okay. All right. So the section number is S11. The laboratory component is either S11A or S11B. I'm going to be covering both the lecture and the laboratory as the instructor this summer. And so you will need to access Blackboard. Obviously, you've already accessed it. So make sure you're checking Blackboard regularly. I will not be using what's called the Alex messaging system. So if you do want to get in touch with me, here's how to do it. You can call. I do tend to do a lot of stuff during the summer, so I'll be kind of in and out. So if you do call, I may not pick up immediately. If you want a fast response, you can text. I also have WhatsApp on my phone. I have Signal. I have Telegram. So either WhatsApp, Signal, or Telegram or text is good. Same phone number for everything, 347-249-5676. For emailing, you can email me at assesschem@gmail.com. So it's ASSESSCHEM@gmail.com. Okay. You can email me at the Kingsborough address, the P. Lloyd, but I prefer not to use it because I don't have an app on my phone to check it very quickly. It's a little burdensome to check that email. So I do check it, but I don't check it as frequently. If you send me an email to AssessChem, or if you contact me by phone, my responses generally are faster. Okay. So we're going to be doing online meetings, which are optional for you. This is an asynchronous course for the most part, at least the lecture component is. So for that reason, you are not required to come to any lectures or be there live. But there will be some live lectures on Zoom. They will be on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 9 a.m. till about 10:30 a.m. And they'll be on Zoom. The meeting ID is 761-534-4943. And the password for that is MEET. So I will not be sending out announcements for each lecture that is going to happen. It's just going to happen Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then the ID information will be the same here. The personal meeting ID and password. Okay. I do record them. It takes a little while for the computer to process it and upload it to YouTube, but they should be uploaded to YouTube that same day. I'm going to try very hard this summer to get them up the same day because we're such an accelerated course. Okay. It's only 6 weeks we're meeting. Attendance at the lectures is optional. It will not be calculated. I will not take attendance. I will not calculate your grade based on your attendance. There's no attendance component of your grade. Okay. Now, what do you need for this course? What materials do we need? Well, obviously you need personal computer, tablet, smartphone, stuff like that, right? It's good to have them all, of course. Microsoft Word is useful for doing laboratory reports. And then scientific calculator is good too. Okay. As a student, you have access to Microsoft Office, Office 360. So you should have access to that. The primary component of everything we're going to be doing is on Alex. Okay, so alex.com. And this gives the information on how to get it. So if I click on this link right here, so I'm going to open this link here. There's the website, alex.com. Okay, that's what you're looking for. All right. When you purchase it, it is $85. And that includes this course. If you go on to take Chemistry 1200, it should include that as long as you do it within a year. Okay, so you're going to purchase it. I recommend purchasing it through alex.com, which is McGraw-Hill. It's $85. If you purchase it through the bookstore using a voucher or something like that, they're going to charge $85 plus 30%. So that comes out to over $100. It's more expensive that way. Okay. The Alex includes the ebook, which is Chemistry 4th edition by Julia Burge, published by McGraw-Hill. So that includes that. If you do want to have a physical copy, you can get it through McGraw-Hill. They will sell you for, I think it's $40. They will sell you a very, you just get like the 3-hole punch type, shrink wrapped. So you can do that. You can also get a physical copy just by going to bookfinder.com and just typing in the information. And to be honest with you, 3rd edition would be fine too. There's really no difference between 3rd and 4th edition. And that's just if you want the physical copy. They are out on the 5th edition now, and in the fall, we'll be using the 5th edition. Of course, you need a Zoom account if you want to do the lectures, if you want to come to these lectures, these live lectures. I also do office hours via Zoom, so that's why we use it. Here's a link here on how to create a Zoom account. Presumably you already have one by now. This is information about Alex. So I'm going to actually post a separate video on how to access the Alex. Okay. But this is the information that if you've already used it or you're pretty savvy, it's not that complicated to get into this stuff. So here's the class code. This is the information you would need to be able to create the account. That links it to me, to this course, the S11 section right there. So that's the course code or class code, if you want to call it that. Okay. This is the information they'll put on it there. There is also an option for, in terms of payment, for getting 2 weeks of free access at the beginning. If it takes you a while to get money to buy it, for that, you enter what's called a financial aid code. That's that number right there. You can just copy and paste that from the syllabus and you'll have it. Okay. So there's some details. Again, we'll go over this with a separate video. Okay. The software you need, well, of course, you're going to be using Blackboard. We're going to use Alex. There's some issues with laboratory reports that we'll talk about in a separate video. Of course, you need to be able to do email, and then you need Zoom. So those are the software requirements here. Okay. Here's what we're going to cover in the course based on the textbook. We're going to cover chapters 3 through 10. And there's a little bit of 11 that is at the end, but primarily it's chapters 3 through 10, not including chapter 7. 7 we're not going to cover in here. Okay. These are the sections of the textbook that we're going to cover. And here's some little detail about how to use the textbook. Essentially what you do is you read the text. Each chapter has different sections. So you read the section, try the sample problems, right? So in each section, there's sample problems. I have posted the solution, I believe, to every sample problem on YouTube. Okay, so every one of them is there for you if you want access to them. I've also done some of the practice problems, not many of them, but a few of them. So are there as well. Those are just practice problems for you to learn the material. There's checkpoints, which are just multiple choice questions at the end of the section. And then you go on to the next section. So you do all this for section 3.1, then go on to 3.2, 3.3. There are course videos, as I said. Each chapter is on YouTube, 3, 4, 5, all the way through 9. There's a folder. These are the folders, the playlists. So lots of videos there that I produced over the last year and a half. Okay. So you can watch those videos and you can watch them as often as you want. Here's a little bit of information about grading, really. This comes down, which of course is obviously important for you, the issue of grading. So the grading is based on primarily the homework assignments, but Alex uses different terminology. They don't call them homework, and they call them objectives. So an objective is an assignment of homework problems, okay? So the first objective is the one for chapter 3. This matches up with the material in chapter 3 from the textbook. Notice there's a due date. So that due date is June 27 at almost midnight, right? Like almost the end of the day, 11:59 p.m. Okay, 22 topics. A topic is a type of problem that you have to do. Okay, so there's 20. There's a lot. That first chapter 3 has the most topics. However, chapter 3 is really considered prerequisite material for this course. It's something that we cover in Chemistry 100. So that's why it's so many topics in there. Okay, that's sort of the basic information, basic material for the course. Make sure that you get it in by that due date. So Sunday, June 27th. Okay, that's the deadline to get that done. Now, if you don't complete it by then, you still get credit for the amount that you did. So out of those 22 topics, let's say you got 11 of them done. Okay, you got 11 topics done. 11 out of 22 is 0.5. So that's 50%. So you'll still get the credit for the ones that you did. But make sure you write these down in your calendar. I tried to make them all due Sunday night, just so that it's a regular pattern. The only one that is separate from that is chapter 9. Chapter 9 is actually due Tuesday because that's the end of the course. Grades have to be in the next day. And so I have to go through all the grading and all of that. So the last one is Tuesday, August 3rd. That one is extra credit though. So you don't have to do that last one, chapter 9, unless you want to do the extra credit, okay? So the last one, chapter 9, 14 topics, is due Tuesday, August 3rd. Now you, just so you know, you can finish these early. You could do, in theory, if you put the effort in, you could do all of these and be done by the end of whenever, the end of June, if you want, if you had the time to do it, or mid-July if you want to do it. There's nothing in this course, there's nothing in this lecture course that requires you to do any work prior to or after, I should say, after the end of June. Everything can be done as quickly as you want, but make sure that you don't miss these deadlines, okay? So the topics are the types of problems. So this is like a type of problem, that's a topic. Each group of topics is what you call an objective, okay? Okay. There's a little information here about knowledge checks. So a knowledge check at the beginning when you take the course is going to have you do what's called an initial knowledge check, which is going to survey your understanding of the material for the course. So don't feel bad if you are going through this initial knowledge check and you don't know how to do these things. That's normal because you haven't taken the course yet. The software is just trying to figure out what you know and what you don't know. Now, throughout the semester, you may run into what are called progressive knowledge checks. So not the initial, but knowledge checks in the future. So like after you finish chapter 4, after you finish chapter 6, for example. So you want to do those and do well on those because those are going to cover material that you've already done. So if you've done material and you still don't know how to do it, then it's going to be able to tell that you don't know how to do it. And it's going to try to actually make you continue working on that throughout the course. So take the knowledge checks seriously and do well on them if you can, okay? But, sometimes you forget how to do stuff and then it's going to have you work on that again. Okay, the exams are also on ALEX, just so you know, the exams are on ALEX. They're asynchronous as well, so you don't have to do them at a specific time. But again, there are due dates. So the first one comes up very rapidly. It's June 27th. So you really have to hit this course very quickly. This course only meets for 6 weeks. So there are all this material we have to get through. So chapter 3 is Sunday, June 27th again at the end of the day. Okay. 1 chapter per test. The 6th exam is the last exam. So there are no final exams following exam 6. Once you've completed exam 6, you're done with all of the exams, okay? The exams will consist of around, I think they're almost all 10 questions. It says here 10 to 15, but I think they're all around 10. And they're going to be questions that are very similar to the ones in your homework that you're doing for the ALEKS objectives. Okay. These are timed. You only have an hour to do them. Okay. So you have to really kind of be serious about getting them done quickly. Okay. Again, they're due at 11:59:59, which means like right before midnight of the next day. So that means if you start at 11:15 p.m., you're going to run out of time at 45 minutes, right? It doesn't give you that full hour. So make sure you get them started before 11 p.m. of the deadline. Okay. Again, each chapter. Now there are practice exams. So it says here there's practice exams for, and those are there, and those are available, and those will be open for the whole semester, for the whole summer. Those are optional. You do not get graded on them. It is just for you to prepare for the actual exam. It's practice. You can take them more than once if you want to. You do not get extra credit for doing them. It's just up to you. This is material that you have a choice of doing, but they will not count against you if you don't take them. Okay. By the way, the course ebook is not available when you take the exams. Okay. Course grading. Here's how we grade it. So each exam, 1 through 6, is worth 4% of your course grade. Okay. So exam 1, 4%, exam 2, 4%, exam 3, 4%, all the way through exam 6. That adds up to 24%, 6 times 4. The laboratory assignments, which we'll cover separately, is worth 6%, all collectively. The whole thing's worth 6%. The assignments, the homework assignments, which are the ALEKS homework objectives, right? All of those together are 70%, 70, okay? So when you do this calculation for the course, it's 70% ALEKS objectives and 24% for all the exams, and then 6% for the laboratories, okay? The course grading is based, I'm sorry. Course grading is based on the following breakdown. A's, no pluses or minuses, by the way, just A, B, C, or F, okay? If you get a score that's around 50% or below 50% and you would prefer to have a D as opposed to an F, just get in touch with me, okay? 85% and above is an A. 70 to 84% is a B. 50 to 69% is a C, and then below 50 is an F. And again, if you get 50%, or I'm sorry, if you get 49% and you want a D, I can give you a D. Let's see. Here's how you can calculate your course grade. You take 0.45, which is 45%, times the ALEKS pi. So there's a pi score that you'll see as well in the ALEKS. And then add to that 0.25 times the ALEKS objectives in percentage. Add to that 0.24 times your exam average. So once you've got exams, you can just take the average of your exam scores. And then add to that 0.06 times your laboratory average. And that will give you your overall percentage, your course percent, which so then you can use that key, okay? These are optional problems, so these are not graded. They're in the ebook. Eventually, ALEKS is going to have it set up to where these could be put into ALEKS's homework assignments, but these are in the ebook, and you can take a look at those. These are end of chapter problems just for extra practice, okay? On the ebook, they're clickable, so you can look at the answers. These all have answers in them. Here are some links. So the link I find that's pretty helpful is the ALEKS support. So if you run into some sort of technical problem with ALEKS, they will help you. So you can do this, and then you can write them, or you can talk to them on the phone. Okay, so these are all different aspects of that. And then these are your learning objectives or learning outcomes for the course. Okay, so there you go. So the main thing I would say is, since 94% of the course grade is through ALEKS, it's probably a good idea once you've watched this video to go ahead and either create your ALEKS account, get started on that. Again, I will post some videos about ALEKS as well. Okay, so take care.